Yeah, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Welcome back to the channel. Big day today. We're coming off of NXT Takeover Unstoppable. And if you're here, that means you want to see a review. But as you know, I have not watched it yet. Because if you're new to the show, or if you're been a long time viewer, you know that when I do reviews here, I don't watch it first. I like to watch it right now and give you my segment by segment, match by match breakdown. So that's what we're going to do. I figured what better way than to kick off my 32nd birthday than to go ahead and start with the review. Do it early. NXT Takeover Unstoppable. I'm hearing great things. There's spoilers all over the internet. I'm trying to avoid them. I'm dodging them like the Matrix. So I'm real excited to go ahead and get this going before I get any major spoilers, which I kind of already have. But let's go ahead and get right to it and watch NXT Takeover Unstoppable. You ready? Let's go. 4.5 minutes in and I already got to make a comment. Absolutely love the opening package of NXT. I thought it was really cool. I think it gives you a good sum up of what you're going to see on the show. That's always important. WWE does these packages better than anybody else. It's one of their strengths. But the first thing I want to talk about is Tyler Breeze's intro, his entrance. Awesome. Absolutely loved it. The models and him stopping at each model and taking a selfie with each one. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a really cool play on his entrance. It's just the little things. They seem to do everything right here. Even small things like entrances. You know, which we all know. I'm saying that with a grain of salt because we know the entrances can be huge for people. The pop that you get for coming out of the crowd, from coming out of the crowd and all that, for coming down the aisle and all that, it's important. It sets the stage of what you're going to see. So, wait, maybe. I don't know. I thought we're going to get hit with an epic sneeze. It's there. Oh my God, it's so there. I guess not. All right, so yeah, I love Tyler Breeze's entrance. Pretty damn cool. Should get another good entrance, too. Let's see what else happens. I just wanted to comment on Tyler Breeze's cool model entrance. Pretty neat. Back to Takeover. I got a feeling it's going to be one of those nights. Now we're about, 6 minutes in or so. 5 minutes and some change. And another big thing has already happened. Hideo Itami, which we've known for a while, is hurt. They do a write-off angle with him in the parking lot where they had a fan take video. A fan, I say in quotations. Take video on his cell phone depicting Enzo and Cass coming out, but then in the background you hear Hideo screaming and he got attacked. The brilliant part of this is obviously it sets up his return when he's able to in 6 to 8 months, whatever it is. But the cool thing, it just speaks to how brilliant Kevin Owens is. Now, whether he did it or not, we'll find out at a later date. But Kevin Owens walking by with his duffel bag on and he just snarks. That's a shame. That's hysterical. That's hysterical. Kevin Owens is going to be a massive star. There's no question about that. All right, I'm really excited now because it's time to see Finn Balor's entrance. Should be quite good, as it always is. We'll be right back, I'm sure. Let's check this out. About 10 minutes in, and we get the Finn Balor entrance. And it was awesome as always. I mean, really is good. It's one of the best entrances in wrestling right now. It's pretty damn cool and special. But I was watching it, and this is a little bit different than his other ones, which is cool. But I was watching it, and they use the word enigmatic, which is a great word, by the way. It doesn't get used nearly enough, but it kind of made me think back to something that is probably obvious, and I'm sure many of you people already have thought the same. I think I've had the thought, but I haven't brought it out yet. God, this is a very much, and I know that Finn's been doing this a long time. But Jeff Hardy used to, in TNA, they tried to sell him very, very, very much similar to this. Now, it probably didn't work for Jeff Hardy because he used to come out in a full body paint in TNA. He did it a little bit in WWE, but it wasn't as a demon, or it wasn't because of another side of him. It was basically just because he was on drugs. And he would do the same thing. He would crawl out of the entrance ramp, too. I remember him doing that at TNA pay-per-views. This was during his first run, too, so in TNA, which was like 2006 or something. And he or maybe even earlier than that, 2005, 2004, I can't remember. And he would do the exact same thing, and he was the enigmatic enigma. Jesus, fucking hard word. And he'd be doing the exact same thing, but it wasn't sold in the same way, and it certainly wasn't as over. People just wanted to see Jeff Hardy be Jeff Hardy and not see him be this weird guy. But Finn Balor it's awesome. It's Finn Balor. People have completely embraced it. I think it's because he's a little more aggressive in his style. I'm not exactly sure what it is that makes him more believable, makes people buy into this character a little bit more. And that's not to say that Jeff Hardy didn't get over, because that's ridiculous. Jeff Hardy is one of the most over superstars of all time. But that part of him, the crawling out, acting weird thing, did not do as much for him as him just coming out to loud rock music. And you know, the whole Willow persona too is Jeff Hardy and Finn Balor are very much alike. There's a similar thing between the two, I think. And Willow was a very old character of Jeff Hardy. So it's Finn Balor. I bet you if he listed off his list of people that kind of gave him inspiration, I bet Jeff Hardy's on that list, because they're quite similar in a lot of ways. Quite similar. I think Finn Balor's a better wrestler, and Jeff Hardy was more of a, I hate to use the word spot monkey, but he kind of has a lot of spot tendencies in him. His overall wrestling, I feel, is not on the same par as Finn Balor, which I think is fair. Finn Balor is a fantastic wrestler. Not a good wrestler. He's fantastic. He's very good. So let's go ahead and see where this match goes. I'm excited. I haven't even gotten to the first match yet because so much stuff is going on. NXT is already kicking off in a great fashion. So let's watch the first match, which is supposed to be a triple threat, but I have a feeling it's just going to be Balor and the model, Tyler Breeze. If they do add a third person, I'd be cool with that too. Let's see what's going to happen. 22 minutes in, and we got our first decision of the night. It was indeed Finn Balor versus Tyler Breeze one-on-one. Great match, very good. I think these two could have done more together. I could tell that this match wasn't as thought out, and probably they went through different variations of what they wanted to do. It was a good match. I'm not taking anything away from this match at all, but we've seen better matches between Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, and well, to be quite frank, Tyler Breeze and Hideo Itami. So it makes you wonder why these two couldn't have those same type of match. Now, once again, I'm not saying this wasn't a phenomenal match. It was a very good match, but it felt like it was missing something. I don't know what. Look, I still give the match a 7.5. I thought it was very good. 7.5, solid match. Good ending. I felt like, for some reason, I don't feel like that dive off the top of the NXT thing was really necessary or particularly well done. I don't know. It felt kind of gratuitous, and usually those things don't to me. So that was kind of weird. But I enjoyed the match. Tyler Breeze did not get a lot of offense in. And a lot of the offense that he was getting in wasn't very substantial. It really seems like the only two things that he did was a supermodel kick and the beauty shot that he didn't catch all of. So I don't know. I would like to have seen a little bit more offense of Tyler Breeze. The Finn Balor show is completely fine with me because I really do enjoy Finn Balor. So like I said, Finn Balor gets the victory with the coup de grace. The ending was also, Finn Balor's endings to matches are always quite similar. I'd like to see them start tinkering with different endings to his matches. Doesn't always have to be that kick into the corner, the whiplash kick, and then the coup de grace. They could do something a little bit different. In number one contender matches and stuff, it does feel like there should be something a little bit different in an end, in the finish, and this one didn't really have that. But not a bad match at all, just being a little nitpicky. 7.5, solid match. Probably can be talked into an 8. I really did enjoy the match. After the match, they showed the Mountain, friggin' Mr. Clegane from Game of Thrones, the Mountain, who is legitimately one of the, if not the strongest man in the world right now. All you got to do is go to YouTube and type in The Mountain from Game of Thrones, and you will see all of the world records this guy is shattering in powerlifting. He is so big, so strong, so impressive, and he was sitting right next to a very natural-looking Stephanie McMahon. She wasn't all dialed up, and she really looked like she was enjoying the show. Real quick, I don't like to get sidetracked too often, but I really want to make a quick thing about this week's Game of Thrones. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, and all I heard, I didn't watch it on Sunday, all I heard since Sunday was the most heinous thing that we've seen on Game of Thrones. It was horrible. It was worse than a Red Wedding. What happened to Sansa Stark? It was one of the absolute most disgusting things. There's been all this backlash about Sansa, what they did to Sansa. So when I'm watching this, I'm like bracing for the worst. I thought it was going to be like, I knew it had something to do with like a rape or something like that. And I was expecting the worst, like her getting raped and it was going to be terrible. And like, oh my God, Sansa's been, it wasn't that though. Look, it was terrible what happened, but it was consensual sex after a wedding. And Ramsay, yeah, he was a little aggressive with her, but I definitely wouldn't have called it a force. Look, okay, was it a rape? Yes. Yes, it is. It is technically a rape because she's there, but she's playing the Game of Thrones. That's the thing. She's playing the game. She understood. She was talked into going. She went back home after saying she wasn't going to go when Littlefinger told her, hey, bitch, you're going to go marry this dude. She was like, no. And then a few words, saying stop being a victim. And then she goes and purposely portrays the victim. You have to figure this is building to something bigger. This is building to her getting her retribution. And it's going to happen at some point. She is there, right there, to be able to take her vengeance on the entire Bolton family. So you have to figure that's going to happen. But what I really want is for all of these fucking assholes in the media that tried to trump this up as just a terrible atrocity. And so it's certainly not the worst thing that we've seen on Game of Thrones. We've seen babies get fucking murdered. We've seen entire families. We've seen unborn children get murdered. We have seen terrible, terrible things in Game of Thrones. And this doesn't probably even register in a top 10. It was bad. It was emotional. It was tragic that Sansa continues to suffer. And for her to lose her virginity in that way is horrendous. But was it anywhere near what people were making it out to be? Absolutely not. Okay, rant over. Let's get back to NXT. I apologize for that, but that's been driving me friggin' crazy, and I didn't want to do a separate video on it. So, come for the NXT, stay for the Game of Thrones nerdery rant. How about that? So, let's get back to NXT and see what happens next on TakeOver Unstoppable. About 25 minutes in, and we get a recap of NXT's tour through Philadelphia and Albany. Awesome events. I think it's really cool that NXT is getting out there more. It's really feeling like its own standalone brand, which I think is kind of the point long term. The WWE has gone again, and this is not the first time they've done this, creating competition for itself. Because NXT is so hot and over right now that you have to capitalize on it. Whether that means bringing guys up or bringing guys in, You see what I did there? Either bringing guys up to WWE from NXT or bringing new guys in to NXT. You're creating a constant. What you made is a self-feeding machine. It's wonderful. It's constantly going to be producing new talent. It's no different than a AAA ball club, but it feels different than development territories in the past. This feels like something that, in and of itself, something just as big, if not bigger, than WWE in some aspects. And it's really, really cool to see. Absolutely love it. Wouldn't it be badass if Triple H found a way to get like legitimately, not just a storyline, to to get some papers signed, and he just owns NXT. It's just that he owns it, and then he takes it and he competes, and we have a new Monday Night War. I sound like all you idiots now. We need a new Monday Night War, baby. That's right. That's right. All right, let's get back to NXT before I completely lose my mind, because I'm a loopy on my birthday. Here we go. NXT. Real quick, about 27 and a half minutes in, we got Dana Brooke and Emma versus Charlotte and Bayley. And the Dana Brooke entrance just happened. It's quite interesting. They changed it up a little bit. They changed up some of her mannerisms. They changed her outfit, which I think was very important. I don't know if this is going to be her new all-the-time outfit or not. I think that they're tampering with her. They're tinkering with her to see exactly what's the best combination and what to make her most effective. I really like what they've done with Emma's costume and her look as well. I think that it's really cool. I like this combination of these two together. There's something sexy about it, something fresh. It's cool. This should be a good match. I'm excited to see what these four ladies can do. Let's get back to it. Okay, about 34 minutes in, we got Dana Brooke, Emma versus Charlotte and Bayley. And this match was a mess. But it wasn't Bayley's fault. It wasn't Charlotte's fault. And it certainly wasn't Emma's fault. It was Dana Brooke. She is an absolute train wreck out there. She looks lost most of the time. Her positioning is always wrong. She forgets spots constantly. Look, if you're just really stiff in the ring or unsure and you're making mistakes, that's one thing. But you cannot forget your ring positioning. You cannot forget your ring positioning. That's the most important thing, because even if your moves are breaking down, your ring positioning is important for not only for the look and feel of the match, but for the safety of the wrestler opposite you. And her footwork, her ring positioning is always wrong. She's absent-minded. She's so much into the pageantry, the constant flexing, the sexuality. She has no concept of how to wrestle. She got lost in the lights tonight. Now, I've seen improvement with her over the weeks, but tonight on the big stage, she got lost in the lights. And she looks like she may have caused some injury. She could have caused an injury to Bayley at the very least. And I'll tell you something else. She made the ending look fucking retarded because she is unable to get her ring positioning correct. Now, if WWE does not correct this and make sure that, and this goes to Sarah Del Rey and Albert, the head trainers over there in NXT, they need to take her aside and fix whatever is broken. And maybe she's just not cut out for this. Yes, she has an amazing look, but you know what? Look is not enough. Have her be a valet if you like her look so much. Have her be a muscle, but you can't have her be a prominent diva wrestler if she is unable to wrestle. And I'm not saying that she can't develop, but what I'm telling you now is she is developing bad habits that are hard to break the longer you are in this business. And that's a problem. Her ring positioning is horrible. Horrible. And that needs to be corrected. So the other three I thought were great. Charlotte is always good. I like her interaction with the crowd. I felt that was missing in the past. So even when she was a heel, I just feel like now she's really starting to connect, and it's going to really help her when she does come up. Bayley has been doing amazing work, both psychologically and in the ring. And of course, Emma. I love Emma. I have for a really long time. I love the new Evil Emma chance, the Evil Emma look. That's great. So this match, I give it a generous 6. Probably should be more like a 5.5. But I'm going to give it a generous 6 because Charlotte was so damn good. And I love that figure 8 that she does. It's great. So, but this is a problem. This could be a long-term problem with Dana Brooke unless they fix this. I've been back and forth on Dana because I like her. I like her look. But, Jesus, she got lost in the lights, as they like to say. The rookie got lost, and she got lit up. This is equivalent to a rookie going out there and throwing 7 or 8 innings of just meatballs, and the manager just letting him stay out there and get hammered and crushed. That's what this felt like. My wife is now interrupting my podcast. What is up, my wife?
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. My wife just woke up and she's saying happy birthday. I love you too. Thank you. Happy birthday. The one day of the year she loves me. But that was like the equivalent of what we saw tonight. Just a manager letting their pitcher get shelled. This rookie pitcher just get absolutely shelled. And that's what it felt like. Dana got shelled tonight. She got lost in the lights, and it could have been a hell of a lot worse than what it was. So, like I said, I give the match a generous 6. Let's get back to the action. About 38 minutes in, I got to go ahead and give a quick recognition to the crowd for acknowledging U-Haul Nation sitting in the audience amongst the new crop of NXT superstars that'll be showing up on television really soon. U-Haw's got that amazing ability to connect with a crowd, and people love this guy. He's going to be huge. He's going to be so big because he has the mix of power and high-flying ability that people want to see. People are really excited about U-Haul Nation, let me tell you. And they need just keep him U-Haul, man. Just keep him U-Haul. This guy will be a world champion within 2 years. I can almost guarantee it because he has that. He's basically the Black Kevin Owens as far as his following and everything that he's accomplished in the past. And he has such a great story too. If you know the story of U-Haul Nation, that horrendous injury that happened to him, people just gravitate towards this guy, and he's just very, very well loved and embraced. He's got the it factor, the following, and most importantly, the ring prowess to really be a champion. I think he can be a champion. He's going to break through that invisible glass ceiling that people talk about for black athletes in WWE. The thing is, people want to talk about all the time, oh, why WWE's racist. No, there's just not a lot of black professional wrestlers that have that same thing, that same it. It's an it factor. It's so ambiguous, and I hate it because it's not a very good explanation. But Mark Henry, nobody wants to see Mark Henry as a champion. R-Truth is unsustainable. He's always been unsustainable. His stuff ebbs and flows. He dies. He's country as hell. It's part of his problem too. Now I understand that everybody talks about his heyday when he was evil R-Truth and stuff, and Lil Jimmy and all that. But people forget, and I remember towards the end of it, it was dying out. It only lasted a few weeks, like 6-8 weeks. But towards the end of it, the reactions were not as strong as they were at the height of it, which I have to admit, they were huge. But it started to die out, and he lost momentum. It happens all the time. Titus O'Neil has Batista talking about how Titus O'Neil doesn't get pushed into WWE. What has Titus O'Neil done? He doesn't seem to be putting in the work on the microphone. His ring work seems very limited in what he can do. And I don't believe that it's just WWE saying, oh, you know, look, when WWE pares down people's movesets, it's not because they don't want that person to get over. It's because they know what is safe and what works the best. What can somebody do consistently, safely, and look amazing? Now, somebody who I think it's my boy Ian on, I think it's Ian Sloan on frickin' Twitter. He's always hitting up Twitter, talking about how it pisses him off how Neville's moveset has been saved. It has been cut down. Yes, it has been cut down slightly. He brings out new moves every single week, but you can't have him do all the high-risk stuff that we've seen from him in the past, because what could happen? Well, I don't know. Injuries. Like, the injury that happened to him against fucking Bad News Barrett. You can't do these damn things. You can't do them consistently. You have to protect your investment. You have to protect. There's so much more to running a company, a long-term publicly traded company, and all that people want to say, it's okay to have your wrestlers. When you're a 2-bit friggin' promoter in a high school gymnasium, it's okay to say to your wrestlers, do what you want. Do what you want. Jump off everything. Go crazy. Chair shots, blood. Doesn't matter. If you're able to perform next time that we're in town, you can perform. That's fucking insanity. And I'm actually tired of all the terrible comparisons about, it can be done here. Why can't it be done there? Well, it's not the same frickin' thing. It's called sustainability. You have to find a way to work consistently without injuring yourself or others. God, drives me nuts. Anyways, let's get back to NXT. And it looks like the Rhino Baron Corbin match. Yay. Should be interesting. Should be short, but interesting. 49 minutes in, Baron Corbin and Rhino. Look, this is what Baron Corbin and Bull Dempsey was supposed to be. But Bull Dempsey was not ready to be in that spot. So they bring in a guy like Rhino, whose whole main focus was to kind of season and stretch out some of these young guys. He did with a few dudes, put them over. He did the exact same thing for Baron Corbin. Very hard-hitting match. Stretched it out a little bit for Baron Corbin. Longer than most, probably his longest match to date. Rhino doing everything that he can do to really help graduate Baron Corbin. Help Corbin take the next step in his evolution, in his apprenticeship, if you will. And I think it was accomplished. I think Rhino did a great job and made Baron Corbin look very strong here. But the reality is they were both gassed, absolutely gassed. It was a war. I mean, they two huge guys in different ways, of course. Rhino's more stout and muscular. Corbin is tall and lean and just look. It was a very good, strong, hard-hitting fight. I enjoyed it. It was different. It wasn't, it's not the typical NXT match that we see all the time, which I think is kind of the beauty of NXT to begin with, because I guess in some ways it was a typical NXT match, and that's because NXT kind of encompasses everything. You're not going to get the same match on every card. You're just not going to. You're going to see different styles of wrestling, different athletes, different wrestlers, and this is a really good example of that. This is probably Rhino's last appearance. There's really not much more for Rhino to do in NXT, so if he's going to stay with the company, a WWE run makes sense at this point. There's really not much else for Rhino to do after dropping this match to Corbin. It'll be interesting to see where Corbin goes from here. You have to figure the main event status is probably getting very close for him in NXT. And you got to figure that he's going to be going after the title at some point soon. What will happen with Rhino? Only time will tell. Really good match. I enjoyed it. I give it a 7. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was not the most technical thing in the world. But as far as the match doing what it was designed to do, can't ask for much more. So, good match. Let's see what's next. 52 minutes in. Kevin Owens, man. If there is any doubt as to if this kid is ready to come up, then you know what? He just answered all questions with this amazingly smart promo that he just cut. It's just so well crafted, the things that he said. He made reference to what he did to John Cena. He made reference to things that Cena said to him. The veteran advice remark was brilliant. Everything that he did was absolutely brilliant. And he put over the NXT title over the United States Championship. I thought that was great. I thought that was amazingly well thought out and well delivered. It's just what he does. I love the beginning. when he's like, I hate to bug you, Kevin. You're sorry for bugging me, but you're going to do it anyway. I love it. I love what Kevin Owens does. This guy is a star. Absolute star. So let's go ahead and get to the Tag Team Championship match, which I'm very excited because it's my boys Enzo Amore and this here's Big Cass. He's 7 feet tall, and you can't teach that. Let's get back to the action. About an hour and 5 minutes in, and we got ourselves not new tag team champions. No, Blake and Murphy retain thanks to some help and a very, very smartly crafted, yes, I said smartly crafted ending by NXT. Look, Alexa Bliss, who I feel works better as a heel anyway. I think that she's got that look of just a bad girl. She looks like a slut but Alexa Bliss, yeah. I like her with Blake and Murphy. I think it adds a new dynamic. This rivalry can continue now, so I like that. It was a really, really solid match. Cass is an absolute star, man. This guy is so good in the ring for his size. He moves so well. I've compared him to Test. I'll continue to do so. The guy is very good. He also reminds me of a bigger Sting for some reason. It's not just because of the splash. There's just something about this kid that, I don't know, that his energy, his intensity, it's very Sting-like. And his ability to move for a tall, lanky guy is very Test-like. So I'm a big fan of his. I thought the match was very well done. It was solid. It was fun. There was a lot of good spots in it. Carmella is absolutely gorgeous. The opening promo is hysterical as always. They use a lot of toilet paper humor, which I like because I like poop and farts and all that stuff because I'm a 5-year-old, maybe a 4-year-old now after my mini stroke. Who knows? I enjoyed it. Bottom line is I absolutely enjoyed it. So let's get back to it and see what's next on NXT. I give that match a 7.5. That was a good match. Blake and Murphy retain. Great match. About 1 hour and 34 minutes in. Absolute, hands down, match of the night. Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch for the Women's NXT Championship. Absolutely phenomenal. Not good, not great, phenomenal. What an amazingly wrestled and just completely performed match. I mean, this is working a match at its absolute finest. Becky has won over the NXT crowd, man. Won over wrestling fans. I don't know if I've ever seen that. At the end of the match, and I'll get into the match a little bit after this, but after the match, Becky was laying still in the ring. She gets up, and the entire crowd gives her a standing ovation, which happens, but they started to sing her intro, her entrance music. That is incredible. That does not happen. That was very, very cool. What a great moment. Becky put everything into that match. Even got Suplex City chants going because of some of the suplexes she was hitting on Sasha. This was a different Becky Lynch tonight. This is a mature Becky Lynch, a ripened Becky Lynch, if you will. Sasha, not to get lost in all of this, because she had an amazing match of her own. Psychologically speaking, as far as ring mentality and everything, there may not be a better woman working today in wrestling than Sasha from a sheer psychological standpoint, because she's not physically imposing. She's not uber athletic, although she is athletic. She's not overly athletic, though, but because of how she works, how she moves, how she runs her mouth, everything that she does just amplifies who she is. It's amazing. Her mannerisms, her ring footwork, something I talked about that was lacking in another woman earlier in Dana Brooke. Everything that Sasha does is perfectly thought out. Her ring positioning is always good. She knows where she is. She is a ring general. That's what Sasha Banks is. And Becky Lynch is turning into a complete all-around performer that is going to be a huge women's star. There is and this is a microcosm of wrestling right now. The talent that we have in the women's division that is continuing to grow, continuing to get better. These women, these 4 or 5 women that are in NXT right now that are at the cream of the crop, the top of the mountain, they are going to be leading a renaissance into the division when they get to WWE, if they ever do. Because we've talked about the possibility of NXT staying the way it is, which I'm completely fine with, and maybe not people going up as frequently as some might want. But the fact is, when they do, because I do believe they will, when they do go up to the main roster, it is going to be a renaissance in the Divas division. And I hope they get that word diva out, because these are women. They are strong, proud women wrestlers, not divas. And that goes for the women on the main roster as well. These are women wrestlers. I'm tired of divas. I'm tired of knockouts. They're women wrestlers. They don't need a gimmick. The division doesn't need a gimmick. Let them be women wrestlers, because they're amazing superstars. Some of these girls can absolutely flat out go, and they just stole the show. Somebody go call the cops, because the show has been stolen. Great match, Sasha and Becky. I give this match a 9. It could not be much better than what it was. Look, if you want to get picky, there was a little bit of slop in some moments of the match. It seemed like Becky also forgot at one point to sell her shoulder injury. That's small nitpicking. Trust me. That's just because I'm trying to be fair to all aspects here. Small nitpicking. Not a big deal at all. The match was so good. A little bit of slop is okay. Great match. Absolutely enjoyed it. Let's get to the main event. Let's get to the ending here. 1 hour and 42 minutes in. Kevin Owens is wearing a John Cena t-shirt. Brilliant. I love this. Oh, God. I wonder how this match is going to be. Zayn looks good. He looks fit. I think it's a really good thing that he's actually going through with this match. We don't know how injured that shoulder truly is. I'm starting to think the whole thing was a work. They were reporting that he was supposed to miss a long chunk of time. Now, it looked like a legit injury when it happened, but I don't know. Maybe it was just one of those scares where the shoulder almost came out, but it didn't. And that was it. And we'll see what happens in this match. Should be great. But Kevin Owens wearing a John Cena shirt, absolutely brilliant. God, I can't wait. That is the match I am most looking forward to at Elimination Chamber. It might be the match that I'm most looking forward to all friggin' year. I was looking forward to Sting Triple H. But this match between Kevin Owens and John Cena, I'm so pumped for that match. I can't even explain myself how bad I want to see that. When was the last time anybody wanted to see a John Cena match that badly? That's where I am right now. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Let's get to this main event and see how this goes. I'm very excited. End of the event, and let's start with we're going to get to how amazing the end was, but let's get to the match itself. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. Absolutely fantastic match. Their best match that they've had, which they've only had a couple here in NXT. It's not their greatest match of all time, obviously, because they've been feuding for years, and they've had great matches. But this was a great, great, great fight, and it was an example of the diversity that NXT has, and just at every aspect. I mean, Owens could not get out of the blocks in this match. Sami Zayn got a lot of offense in. But at the end of the day, after some very awesome spots all over the arena, it looked like we were going to get a decisive victory. And then a pop-up powerbomb onto the apron changed everything. Kevin Owens was vicious. He was methodical, and he absolutely took Sami Zayn apart and did everything that he promised. He kept going. What I like about this is they set up something very interesting here, because Regal came out, the GM. He comes out and tries to talk sense into Owens. Owens continues to attack, and Regal puts his hands on him physically, and Owen headbutts him away. I love that because here's what they've done. I was wondering how they were going to transition Owens to WWE without making him look weak by dropping the title to somebody. Well, now they have the option of having Regal strip him of the belt and kicking him out of NXT, which would be awesome. It would be very, very cool to see that. You have a number one contender in Finn Balor. Sami Zayn can stay down in NXT for now, or you can bring him up to WWE as well. Either way, it doesn't really matter. Sami Zayn can stay and battle with Balor. That would be great. And now you have one of the coolest debuts we've seen in a very long time at the end of the show, really kind of making the save for Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe. And I love the fact that that he's keeping his name. He is Samoa Joe. It's owned by nobody, and I like that. Awesome. Absolutely incredible. Samoa Joe comes out, and he looks like he's in the best shape that I've seen him since his early indie days. He looks in great shape, great focus. He looks awesome. Nice try, Hunter, by saying NXT is a young man's game. This guy knew better. I knew better we were going to get Samoa Joe, and we did get Samoa Joe in an epic fashion. I really, really enjoyed it. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it was an awesome debut for an awesome wrestler. I'm so excited to see what Samoa Joe is going to be able to do in WWE. Not because I'm a particularly big Samoa Joe fan, because I'm not. I'm not a huge Samoa Joe guy. But what this represents, especially with the news that Destination America has, I believe, officially dropped TNA. Or they will be in September when their opt-out clause becomes 100%. It's very, very interesting. Okay, no, it is official. I've seen Destination America reportedly cancels all TNA programming. Now that is a big factor here because if Samoa Joe can do some things within the company, within WWE, it's going to be a green light for not only WWE hopefully having the foresight to bring some of the guys that can go, Austin Aries, Robert Roode, maybe a few others. Not many, though. Not as many as you would think. But it would give the TNA guys, the ones that are not sure, the ones maybe that have never been to WWE, not sure about jumping over, it's going to give them the hope. I mean, yes, McIntyre, Kennedy, and many others have jumped ship over to TNA and complained and bitched about WWE or whatever. But established stars in the business who are actually big superstars, not like fucking Drew McIntyre. We're talking guys like Samoa Joe, who has conquered the world of independent wrestling and has done it on the big stage in TNA. At this stage in his career, if he's taking a cue and going over to WWE, it's got to be for a reason. It's got to be for a reason. So I like what this represents. I like the fact that Samoa Joe coming over and having success could really open the floodgates to having a lot of new talent from TNA and maybe other independent organizations as well coming over. But to this TNA news, I'm going to just read right from the dirt sheet here. WrestlingLink.com reports, before it was announced last Friday that Impact Wrestling would be moving to Wednesday nights beginning on June 3rd, 2015, Destination America officials made the decision to cancel the show and all other programming from the Nashville, Tennessee-based company. This is according to Dave Meltzer in this week's issue of Wrestling Observer newsletter, which was published Wednesday night. It was noted that Meltzer that all TNA programming will cease to air on Destination America at the end of the third quarter of the year. This is roughly the last week of September when the current television season ends. Key people at parent company Discovery Communications were informed of the decision. Two major reasons were given for the cancellation of TNA shows. While Destination America officials considered the ratings for Impact Wrestling to be good, the numbers were not good enough to justify the cost of the programming. The other problem was that the number of cable network advertisers specifically did not want to advertise during Impact Wrestling. The decision from Destination America was meant to be kept secret, quite like how Spike executives kept secret publicly last year their decision to drop Impact Wrestling for months after the decision was made and reported. There's more to this. I'm going to go ahead and do a separate video on this because I think it deserves its own. It's an important subject. So I'm going to go ahead and do another video. If you want to hear more about TNA and all of this and what it could possibly mean, go ahead after this video, look on the channel. The new video should be up. I'm going to do one just on this TNA announcement because I think it's big and it warrants its own video. So let's get back to NXT Takeover. I give a 9. I give it a 9, and it may not have been the knockdown, drag out, throw all, Ring of Honor, multiple kickouts, but it's not what it was supposed to be. This was the destruction of Sami Zayn, the arrival of Samoa Joe, and the completion, the evolution of Kevin Owens. At the end of the night when Owens left and then came back out and was going to fight, and then he didn't, I thought it was great that the crowd was chanting, "Water plumber, water plumber." Some people might have heard "what a bummer," but I heard "water plumber" because it's hilarious. It was not "what a bummer," it was "water plumber," which is hysterical. I love that. Thank you, wrestling fans, for chanting "water plumber." What was it? What a bummer. Fuck you. That's what I have to say. Other than that, I'm going to give the show an 8.5. I thought it was fantastic. WWE is streaking right now with shows. Everything is hitting on all cylinders. Hopefully SmackDown continues that trend. Raw will continue that trend. And going into Elimination Chamber, which is shaping up to be an amazing show, WWE is red hot right now. So if you're not watching the product, right now is the time. Check it out. This is a great way to start my birthday. I've had a really good morning watching NXT, commenting with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to hear your comments on NXT. Put it in the comment section below. Tweet my Twitter, DeadOnDaveV. Check out my Spreadshirt, Dead on Dave Productions, on Spreadshirt.com. If you have any things that you want to send, memes, either tweet it to me or send it on deadondaveproductions@yahoo.com. Go ahead and hit me up there with anything that you would like to see covered. If you want to make a video on any quick reviews on any wrestling product that you have, keep it under 5 minutes and send it to me. And don't put it in super high resolution either. Go ahead and send it to me on Yahoo, deadondaveproductions@yahoo.com. And if it's good, I'll use it. So let me know what you guys think of certain things that are going on in the wrestling world or the sporting world. There's so many things going on all in the world of sports. I want to hear your opinions on it. Thank you guys for joining me right here on Dead on Dave Productions. As always, like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you next time. And remember, kids, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Peace.